The Dogs, in association with the Greyhound Board of Great Britain.
Well, the Greyhound Classic season is upon us. We're at Shawfield for the IBETX.com Scottish Derby final. It's the first leg of the Triple Crown of Greyhound racing, and it's coming up on this week's edition of The Dogs.
Also on this week's programme, the glitz and glamour of the Midlands Greyhound Ball. The Dogs Cameras joins a bumper crowd at Romford for their Good Friday matinee meeting. And the 3 semi-finals of the William Hill Blue Ribbon from Hall Green. That's all coming up. Scotland's big night of the year, the IBETX.com Scottish Derby final at Shawfield attracted a huge crowd to the Glasgow track with the anticipation of a big run from off the pace from the only English runner, Thurlesbeg Joker. But before that, the locals were in full voice as the locally trained Greenwell River in Trap 5 beat Irish challengers Slip the Lark in 6 and Tara Laurel in 3, with the more fancied Windy Miller staying on for second in Trap 4. He also broke the track record for 480 metres, recording 28.66. For the big race itself, the IBETX.com Scottish Derby final, there were some huge bets struck on Thurlesbeg Joker in Trap 6, the only English-trained runner in the field. Barry Draper's Hot Pot was expected to pick off the other 5 Irish runners one by one. Scottish-born Fraser Black had 2 runners in the field, including the second favourite Must Be Keno and also Forest Master. Darryl Williams has the commentary on the big race itself.
And they're racing, and away they go, and Daly's Boss, a good start, but Capricorn was quickest away and will lead round the first bend from Daly's Boss in second. A knock for Thurlesbeg Joker at the rear. Drum the Classic is sitting in third down the far side. Pat Buckley, though, has it at the moment. Capricorn has gone 3 or 4 lengths clear. Drum the Classic is fighting on up into second place, then Daly's Boss. Thurlesbeg Joker has only got 1 behind Must Be Keno. Down the home straight, Capricorn is going on to win the IBETX Scottish Derby. Capricorn wins. Second goes to Daly's Buzz, and then Drum the Classic back in third.
A lightning break from Cabra Cool in Trap 1 gave him every chance to show his undoubted speed. Favourite Thurlesbeg Joker in 6 never got it going really after taking a bump at the first bend from Forest Master. Cabra Cool will now be aimed at Wimbledon by Irish trainer Pat Buckley, who has now netted his first ever derby. Cabra Cool is 50 to 1 with the sponsors Blue Square for the English equivalent.
Just 3 days after Scotland, the countdown to the Blue Square Derby at Wimbledon began in earnest at London's Victoria Casino. A number of the sports scribes met to enjoy lunch and discuss the leading contenders. The afternoon was hosted by Blue Square's new PR manager, Alan Alger.
Very, very exciting. We've got a list of dogs on all the tables here, and people are selecting their charity bets, and there's a few tips gone up on the board already. So, yeah, the build-up starts here.
Your first year in charge of a Greyhound Derby this year. Looking forward to it?
I am really looking forward to it, and I went down a few of the races last year, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the final, with the 3 big nights last year. And yeah, I was a bit jealous of George out there doing all the work and getting all the Sky appearances. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing it personally this year.
Well, I have to hold my hands up. I've already had a few selections, but the greyhound I'm interested in at the moment is Tyra Hester. Really a dog who's more known as a sprinter. But I spoke to Charlie Lister last week about him, and he said that he thinks he's a better, stronger dog than Ningbo Jack, who of course got to the final a few years ago. He could just be a dog that can make them all go, and a long way clear at halfway. Not bad at Wimbledon.
But I've gone on the tipping competition here, Trap 1. Now, I know Trap 1, bad luck in the Derby and a recent record they've got and everything, but Trap 1 is the trap to have. Unlikely to be more than 6 to 1. If it is, it might creep round on the inside, so I might be able to do a business. Hot Pot might get into Trap 1, and all the people like you going on saying, oh no, Trap 1 can't win, never won, it is that, the other. Absolute nonsense, Trap 1, always a favourite trap. So I've gone for the red jacket, 6 to 1. I'm bound to reach the final anyway.
The Blue Square Derby kicks off with a split first round on Thursday, April the 30th. All the action from the first, second and third round heats will be streamed live on Blue Square's website, with Sky Sports exclusively picking up the action from the quarterfinals onwards.
Over to Hall Green for the 3 semi-finals of the William Hill Blue Riband. Mark Wallace had a strong hand in the first, with favourite Joggerdusk Ace looking really impressive in the first round when blasting out to make all. Wallace also had Mountjoy Ruby in 6, who employed similar tactics in the first round. And there they go, racing away. Joggerdusk Ace out fast again. On its inside, Bomber Blue can't live with it as they go round the bend. Up into second comes Mountjoy Ruby, running a bit wide. Then comes Barnfield Mike. Out and Goodnight trying to make up some progress down the far side from Bomber Blue as they come into the second last bend. Joggerdusk Ace with this lead of 2.5 lengths over Mountjoy Ruby in second. Then comes Barnfield Mike. They come round the final bend and it's all about Joggerdusk Ace, who's made all. Trap to line, wins easily. Back in second, Mountjoy Ruby. Joggerdusk Ace recording a fine 28.29, beating kennel companion Mountjoy Ruby by a length and a half. In the second semi-final, Leinster Express was the 5-4 favourite, having surprisingly made all in the first round. Main opposition in the market was Eye on the Brave and Blonde Fern. And there they go, running up towards the first bend, and Leinster Express nudges into Malpractice on the inside to take up an early lead again. Eye on the Brave in second. Moving off there was Blonde Fern. Lenson Flash was crowded, so was Miss Lee Colonel as they head down the far side. Leinster Express 2.5 lengths clear. Blonde Fern moving up on the outside of Eye on the Brave. After these comes Miss Lee Colonel. They go around the third turn. Leinster Express will dig deep here, coming around the final bend. Still out wide is Blonde Fern. Up the line is going to be Leinster Express that wins. It's tight for second. Well, Leinster Express recording 28.40 with Blonde Fern just getting second. In the third semi-final, Goldcrest King was the firm favourite despite finishing third in the first round to Eye on the Brave. Toosie Blue, who'd finished ahead of Goldcrest King in that race, was second favourite at 3-1. Up go the lids and away they go. 3 Freedom Lark out quick but can't maintain that initiative. Here comes 5 Silver Duff Jet on the outside, 2 on the inside. Goldcrest King. Around the outside comes Toosie Blue and Toosie Blue takes over. In second is Goldcrest King. Missing out at the first bend, Silver Duff Jet, who took a slight nudge. Back in third now as they go around the second last bend, and a battle royal up front. Goldcrest King muscles past Toosie Blue. It's Goldcrest King. He seems to want it more. Goldcrest King beats Toosie Blue. A battling performance from Goldcrest King, recording 28.46 and turning the tables with Toosie Blue. Well, Mark Wallace has 50% of the field for next Tuesday's William Hill Blue Ribbon final. He might, though, be a little concerned with the draw for Joggerdusk Ace, who may turn right leaving the traps and could be in trouble with the Leinster Express. If Goldcrest King avoids any early bother from the inside pair, he might be the answer to this tricky final.
Greyhound Racing's awards season continued with the Midland Greyhound Ball at the Hilton Metropole in Birmingham. It was the 20th anniversary of the function, which this year centred on the 4 participating tracks: Oxford, Monmore, Perry Bar and Hall Green. It was another glitzy black tie affair, an important fundraiser for retired greyhounds. After dinner, it was time to celebrate the stars of the Midlands Greyhound scene on and off the track. And the first award was for services to the Retired Greyhound Trust, with a winner from each of the 4 tracks up on stage. The overall winner was Peter Cooper from Monmore. The overall Midlands Kennel Hand of the Year also went in the way of Monmore, this time to Paul Halpin, who works for trainer Mel Baker. Trainer of the Year went for the 2nd year running to Ian Wills at Oxford. While overall Midlands Greyhound of the Year was awarded to the extremely versatile Watch the Signal, trained by John Pearce. There was also a nice surprise for Stephen Ray, Hall Green General Manager. Stephen has organised the event for the past 11 years and next year passes the baton on to Carol Chown Smith at Perry Bar. In recognition for all his work, he was awarded the Services to Greyhound Racing honour by his Midlands peers and was left almost speechless.
I was absolutely gobsmacked, yeah. I mean, services to greyhound racing we normally give to people who are retiring or, have given sterling service to the sport. It was a total shock. I didn't know anything about it.
Do they know something you don't?
Well, no, I'm not. As I said earlier, I'm not retiring from Hall Green, at least for another couple of years. I'm 58 now, and obviously at some stage I'll be making that decision, but certainly for the next couple of years I'll still be around.
Carol, Stephen will be a hard act to follow.
He certainly will. He's done it so well for the last 11 years. I mean, he's raised so much money for the trust. It's going to be a hard act to follow, but I've got a few ideas of my own. Looking forward to taking over from him. He'll certainly still be there. He'll certainly be doing the auction and a couple of other bits. But yeah, the organisation's back over to me now.
Martina, a good show for Stephen to go out on.
Absolutely, cracking one. We raised hopefully by the end of the evening 11,000, which will all be divided between the 4 tracks. So yes, it's a brilliant one for him to go out on. He's done really well. 100,000 in 10 years isn't bad at all. I wish all the other RGTs and their tracks could do the same. We'd be laughing.
Yeah, when I was at Aintree yesterday, I had a word with Tony McCoy, who's a big supporter of Greyhound racing. You know, we're so lucky to have so many jockeys who's interested in our game. And he said, no, leave it to me, I'll get them all signed for you. And he said, I've got all the top jockeys signed for you on the day. And I had a look, and he's left out the Grand National jockeys. So I suppose he thought that couldn't win.
You looking forward to working with Carol?
Absolutely, she's got some fantastic new ideas. We changed it 3 years ago, came to this hotel, put on a bigger set, obviously gave out some more awards, and it's got bigger and better. So yes, Carol has some really good ideas, so hopefully it'll change again next year and we'll get even bigger and better again.
After the break, we're off to Romford to report on their successful Good Friday matinee meeting.
Good Friday at Romford for the heats of the Millennium Stand Bookmakers Golden Sprint, and the turnstiles were clicking for another cracking holiday fixture at the Coral track. Coral broke new ground in 2008 by staging meetings on Good Friday at both Romford and sister track Hove, and the venture was successfully repeated last week. It was family fun all the way, and high quality racing brought in the punters. All the restaurants at Romford were open and packed, with the pavilion again the choice of many who wanted to do it in style. Heat 1 of the Golden Sprint saw one of the anti-post favourites line up in the shape of David Pruse's Bandit Blue. He headed the market from course and distance winners Glengar Clover and prolific scoring Kingsmill Bow.
And away they go, and out of the box. Oh, there's trouble already. Farley Legend bumps into Lomax. Pace now with Bandit Blue. That takes over. Racing in second and getting a slight touch was Glengar Clover. Improving on the inside is Kingsmill Bow. Then we've got to get back to 2. Lomax back in 4th. Come down towards the 3rd bend, and Bandit Blue, a length and a half clear here. Good tussle for second. Glengar Clover's moved up and down position. Kingsmill Bow and Lomax are next. Up the line, it's going to be Bandit Blue for David Pruse. Wins by a couple of lengths. Glengar Clover was second. Kingsmill Bow in 3rd.
Victory for Bandit Blue in 24.15. Heat 2 now, and Chris Duggan's Fire for Effect was installed a warm order to strike again for favourite backers. He ran from trap 3, with next in Westmead Cure in 5.
And away they go, racing up towards the 1st bend. Great start here from 3. Fire for Effect. Going with it though is Barnfield Habit on the inside. So go round the first 2 bends. They're 1st and 2nd. Back in 3rd comes Dark Tonight after he's got a break back to 2. Robin Jank as he approached the 2nd last bend, and 3. Fire for Effect. The 11 to 10 favourite now leads by a length and a half over Barnfield Habit in 2nd. After these comes 2. Robin Jank. It's going to be success for Chrissy Duggan's Fire for Effect. Wins by a comfortable 3 lengths. Barnfield Habit just in 2nd ahead of Robin Jank.
Fire for Effect successful in 24.02. A cracking Heat 3 featured any number of chances. Royal Hunter went to trap's favourite from 3 ahead of Barry Draper's Glenroe Ginger in 4.
Away they go, racing towards the 1st bend. 4. Glenroe Ginger gives 3 a nudge. Royal Hunter leaving the boxes but still leads here. Trying to nip through on the inside but forced to check Prematurious. Heading down the far side, Glenroe Ginger then the leader by 2.5 lengths from Prematurious in 2nd. After these comes Royal Hunter. Trying to nip through on the inside is Dean Ridge-Ammo at the 3rd turn, but as they come around the final bend, it's the pace of Glenroe Ginger. The Northern Raider for Barry Draper will win, hands down. Wins easily. Prematurious in 2nd, Dean Ridge-Ammo in 3rd.
Glenroe Ginger strikes in 23.77, which was to prove the fastest of the round. Punters had the best of the exchanges in the early heats, but back inside it was the Romford experience being enjoyed by the hundreds who turned out. Our fearless reporter James Macready of the Greyhound Board of Great Britain caught up with a few of them.
So what brings you down to Romford today?
Well, my 2 little grandkids. This is Frank and Ruby, and we're just coming down to enjoy a day. It's a Good Friday. It's a really good place to come. Lovely dogs, aren't you?
This is the second time we've been here. The first time was with my in-laws about 2 weeks ago, and we liked it so much, we've come back.
I think it's a lovely day out for the kids and everything on Good Friday. It's a nice to come. And I've just won £26, so that's great.
The restaurant here, you know, it's pretty good value with the food and a nice place to sit and just, you know, relax with the family and maybe win some money.
And what do you think of Romford so far?
It's really good, yeah. I've not been to the dogs for years and I'm really enjoying it.
Decent enough food and the kids enjoying themselves?
Yes, yeah, they're keeping quite quiet for now, so we're doing well.
I've never seen dog racing before, so I thought it would be a very interesting experience.
Well, whereabouts do you come from?
I actually come from New York originally, but I moved to England.
And how's your first experience of dog racing?
It's really cool, actually.
One man delighted with the size of the crowd and hoping it can be repeated many times over is the Coral Track's new man at the helm, Kevin Wilde.
My job was just to come along, have a look. I've been involved 6 weeks now. You know, I've got a bit of an idea what I'd like to do. The game's still the same, you can't reinvent it. It's a terrific family sport. It's a night out with a difference, and you know, my job is to try to encourage more people to come along here.
Forgive me if I misquoted you here, Kevin, but you said that it's not just tinkering, it's major surgery required to turn these tracks around.
Yeah, well, you know, I use words like that for various reasons. The two tracks are very, very different. They should be both very, very profitable. And, you know, we've got to look at the whole picture. It's not just tinkering, you know, as I said there. It is a case of looking at everything from top to bottom. And we're almost there, well, I'm almost there, ready to put my suggestions to the board, and then we'll have a look at everything.
Kevin has huge experience as former promoter of both the North East tracks, Newcastle, or Brough Park as it was then, and Sunderland. And it's that knowledge which saw him drafted in by Coral to improve the fortunes of their Greyhound stadia.
I have my own views on the sort of type of packages that we do. Again, when I was running Sunderland, it was a big pub, the biggest pub in Sunderland, and certainly here at Romford we can be doing something similar. We've just got to offer different types of packages.
How about Ho? Perhaps there's a little bit more pressure there, rumours of offers made for the site, so you have to make that track very profitable.
Yeah, I've heard all of the rumours. I don't know sort of how much sort of strength's behind all of the rumours, but my job is to look at the business, and again, huge potential. You know, Hove without doubt is, in my mind, the best running track and has some of the best facilities in our business, and it would be a real pity if that wasn't to continue.
Does everything have its price though, Kevin, in this world?
I suppose it has, and you know, I don't know what the main board of Corals, what their situation is. You know, I'm not that close yet. I've only been here 6 weeks. I have had a couple of meetings with the main people, but you know, my report will be to show that, you know, well, I would hope that I can significantly increase profits. If that helps, then great. You know, if it's not enough, then I tried.
Are Corals committed to maintaining their ownership of 2 stadium?
2 stadium, that's all I'd say. Only 2? Perhaps a few more, don't know.
Tell us more.
That's all part of the plan. You know, Paul Tilling, Nick Ross said, Kevin, you know, clean sheet of paper, tell us what we should be doing. And they're a very different company. They want to do things that their own way, etc. And, you know, I wouldn't put it past them to get involved with more stadia.
Back to the action and Heat 4 of the Golden Sprint, and a red-hot favourite in Droopy's Bocelli. Goldcrest Lord was next in at 3-1, with Paul Sallis aiming to continue his kennel's fine run of form, with Star of Twilight in form.
Up go the lids and all 3 stumble badly. Goldcrest Lord away fast though is 4 Star of Twilight. That cuts right across there. No room for 1 Droopy's Bocelli, who nudged into 2. Juventus 1. After these comes 3. Goldcrest Lord, who's caught up a little bit as they head down the far side. Star of Twilight for Paul Sallis, leading here by half length from Droopy's Bocelli. Up on its outside, there's precious little between them now. Star of Twilight finding more, wins by half a length. Second place Droopy's Bocelli, running on late Droopy's Tarzan.
Star of Twilight wins in 24-24. Heat 5 now, and joint favourites in 1 and 6. Punters unable to split Lethal Freddy and Barry Draper's Big Cats in the red jacket of Trap 1.
And away they go. Big Cats came away well. Also pace up Lethal Freddy on this near side. That's being headed though by Love Ghost. There's trouble there. Four got badly hampered. Ballygowan and Ash as they head down the far side. Big Cats 2 lengths up on second place Pinewood King. After these out wide is Lethal Freddy. Then a break back to 3 Hillcross Pluto as they come around the final bend. It's Big Cats still leading. It could be a double up here for Barry Draper. Big Cats all win by a length. Back in second, Pinewood King in third, Lethal Freddy.
Big Cats wins in 24-13 and was one of 4 winners on the card for Team Draper. Heat 6 of the Golden Sprint now. Regular winner Mildine Buster went from 1 and punters just favoured him. But there was also plenty of support for the Pall Mall champion Drink Up Zorro in 2.
Away they go. Good start, Mildine Buster going with it. Drink Up Zorro on this near side. Rugully Boy and Drink Up Zorro's got plenty of early pace. Now goes on. Mildine Buster's trying to ferret its way through on the inside. Had to check. After this comes 5 Rugully Boy as they come into the third bend, and Drink Up Zorro still leading by a length here. Here comes one more challenge from Mildine Buster coming around the outer. 6 Kindred Sparky moving up into third. Up the line it's going to be tight, but it's Drink Up Zorro beating Mildine Buster. Kindred Sparky in third.
Drink Up Zorro completes a Golden Sprint heat double for Paul Salis in 24-30. Let's take a look at Friday's semi-finals now, with the first semi-final a typically open Romford heat. It includes heat winners Big Cats and Bandit Blue. The prices quoted are Coral's latest betting on the event. The second semi-final features fastest heat winner Glenroe Ginger line up in 3. He's now clear favourite with Coral for outright honours. The Salis camp is doubly handed in the third semi-final, with heat winners Star of Twilight and Drink Up Zorro in a field of railers. So another successful Good Friday meeting at Romford. Our smooth talking man with the microphone, James, loved his time at the track. He might have had a good reaction from the ladies, but it was not so plain sailing with the kids.
Hi there. Hi. Have you been to the... Hey, have you been to the dog racing before? And do you like it here? Yeah?
I hate recipes.
What do you like about the dogs?
The hair, mainly.
The hair.
Do you like watching the dogs? Yeah? Okay. Do you like the dogs yourself?
Yes.
And what do you like about them?
I don't know. Because it's nice to see how fast the dogs can run.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Good answer.
And there were plenty of fast dogs on show at Romford on Good Friday as the stars of our game strutted their stuff.
A quick jaunt through the calendar, and those Golden Sprint semi-finals at Romford are on Friday alongside the Opens at Pelor Grange. On Saturday, Peterborough staged the final of the Assured Delivery Marathon, with Opens also at Monmore, Sheffield, Swindon and Wimbledon. Coventry are the only track staging Opens on Sunday evening, whilst Nottingham and Romford stage Opens on Monday. For all the latest news and results, go to our website, thedogs.co.uk. Next Tuesday, we're broadcasting live from Hall Green, Birmingham, for the William Hill Blue Ribbon Final. Make sure you don't miss it.
The Dogs, in association with the Greyhound Board of Great Britain.